Yeah, good morning, students. My voice is audible. Can you please confirm?
Yes, sir.
Why no one has joined the meeting? Class is going on still.
26 present, ma'am.
So why no one has joined the meeting? Class is going on. Can you respond? Ankit or USN 21? What's the reason?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. She's taking attendance, so that's.
Okay, fine. Yeah, good morning, students. So why the participants are very less? The class is over.
Ma'am is taking attendance.
Still she's taking attendance. Which ma'am? Which subject?
Oh, yes, sir.
Oh yes, Shruti madam. Huh? Okay, fine.
Yes.
So I'll wait for 1 more minute and then I'll start the session. Okay, fine, students. So let me start the session for today's class. Fine. Okay, let me start. So in today's class, we shall discuss about this packages. Okay, we shall discuss about this concept called packages. Okay. So in this chapter, we are having two important components. One is packages and one more is interface. But with respect to today's class, we are going to discuss what is a package. Okay. So let us read the definition of this package. This says that packages are containers for classes that are used to keep the class namespace compartmentalized. So what it means, so let us discuss. So this is a definition of your package. I repeat, packages are containers for classes that are used to keep the class namespace compartmentalized. So what it means, see for example, before going to that, in C++, you have studied about namespaces, right, students? You have studied about namespaces. You have studied about namespaces. Why use namespaces in C++?
Prevent pollution of global variables.
It's foolish. Yes, that's correct. So that's what you're going to use. In other words, for example, let us assume that I've written a class called A. I've written a class called A. I've written a class called A. Okay. I've written a class called A. And let me write one more class called A. Let me write one more class called A. Let me write one more class called A. Okay. Now, a single file cannot have two classes, right? A single file can have two classes, but these two classes cannot have the same name. Is it right, student? Is it right? We cannot have, right? So what's going to happen here? Here I'm going to pollute the class namespace. How I'm trying to pollute? Because I'm trying to pick the same name. That is the name for this class is A and the name for this class is A. Is it right? So how I can resolve this issue? In not resolve this issue, what I can do it? Okay. I can place this class A in separate namespace. I can place this class in separate namespace called A1. I can place this class in separate namespace called A1. And similarly, I can place the second class in separate namespace called A2. Okay. Then I can differentiate that this class A belongs to namespace called A2. And similarly, this class A belongs to namespace called A1. Okay. So with respect to this namespace, what we are trying to do, we are trying to differentiate these two classes, right? So similarly here also, with respect to Java, instead of using namespaces here, we are going to use packages. Okay. So with respect to packages, what we can do, we can differentiate classes. That is, for example, let us assume that I picked a class called A. I picked a class called A. Okay, I picked a class called A. There's some other person who also has picked the same class called A. Some other person who also has picked the same class called A. Is that right? No, there's a clash between. Now there's a clash between this class A and this class A. How I can differentiate between these two classes? So in order to differentiate between these two classes, what I'll do, I'll place this class A in package. Okay. Now I'll place this class A in package called A1. I'll put this class A in package called A1. And similarly, I'll put this class A in package called A2. Package called A2. You see that now how I can differentiate? Now I can tell that this class A belongs to package called A1 and this class A belongs to package called A2. You see that how I can differentiate? Now, even though I'm having the same class name, but still I can differentiate with respect to the name of the package. And that's what it says. Packages are containers for classes. You see what is container? What is a container? Let us assume this is a container. This is a container. This is a container. Generally, what a container contains? A container contains some item. Let us assume it's containing an item called 1. It is containing an item called 2. It is containing an item called 3. Okay. So a container can contain n number of items. So similarly here also you see that a package, you can resemble the container as package. Okay. A package can contain n number of classes. Okay. There is no limit. You see that This package A1, right now it's contain how many classes? It's contain only one class called A, but there's no limit that it should have only one class. It can have n number of classes. For example, a package A1 can have a class called A, and a package A1 can have a class called B, a class called B, and similarly a package A1 can have class called C, D, E, F. Like that, it can have n number of classes, n number of classes. So that's what we call packages are containers. Why containers? Because a package contains classes. Since a package contains classes, we call this as a containers. Okay. So that used to keep the class namespace compartmentalized. What is compartmentalized? You can see that. I see. That's what it says. It's going to make the class namespace as compartmentalized. What it may compartmentalized, and you can see that. Okay. So you see that this is one compartment. This is one compartment, and this is your second compartment. That's why it is compartmentalized. That's what it says. Packages are containers for classes that are used to keep the class namespace compartmentalized. Okay. So this class A belongs to a namespace called A1. That's what it says. This class A belongs to namespace called A1. Similarly, this class A belongs to namespace called A2. So this is one compartment, and this is your second compartment. That's what it says. Okay. So using packages, what we can do, we can keep the class namespace compartmentalized. That's what it says. You have any questions, students, you can ask with respect to packages. This is the introduction of your packages. Right. So any questions you have, you can answer. Okay, fine. Now, how to write a package? So how to write a package? In order to write a package, you need to begin with the keyword. Package is a keyword. Package is a keyword. Okay. So any keyword must be written in lowercase. So entire package you should write in lowercase, followed by the name of the package, followed by the name of your package. This is the syntax. So first you should write keyword called package, followed by the name of the package, and finally you need to put semicolon. Okay, that's all. Once you put semicolon like this, so any classes which you write under this, it belongs to package called A1, right? Let us assume you have not written any package. See, up to now we have written several programs, right? So up to now we have written several programs. So let us assume that you have not written any package. In case you have not written any package, by default, this entire classes belongs to a default namespace. Okay, we don't know what's the default namespace. By default, all these classes belongs to a default namespace. In case if write a package something like this, it means that this class A belongs to namespace called A1, right? That's what it is. This is the syntax, and that's all about packages. So you have any questions, you can ask. Have any questions, you can ask. Let me put the syntax. As you can see the syntax, this is a general form of a package. What's a general form? It begins with a keyword called package and followed by the package name. Okay. PKG. Okay. So this PKG is something which is a package name. What's the example? This is an example. This is the general form. This is the general form. The corresponding example for this is corresponding example. So here I'm trying to create a package called my package. So what is the name of my package here? The name of my package is my package. So before that, you need to use a keyword called package. Okay. Yeah. And one more thing I would like to illustrate here. So let me try to open a notepad. Let me try to open a notepad. Let me share my screen. Yeah, fine. Let me write a small program. Let's call A. String ARGS. Okay. ARGS. System.out. How to compile this program, students? I need answers from your end. Now I want to compile this program. How to compile? Yes, students, how to compile? Yes, come on. How to compile this program? Why not answering? How to compile this program? Yes, Vamsi, how to compile? Yes, Akila, how to compile? Ankit, Answa, Ayush, Chandana, Darshan, Gaganashri, Guru Kiran, Anaga, how to compile this program? Are you there, students? Are you listening? Are you listening, students? Is anyone of you respond? Is okay
Sir,
for-
like compile means normal, like using
Yes.
Java C dot Java, like that, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. See, in order to compile a program, okay, we need to use a tool called Java C. Okay, in order to compile a program, we need to use a tool called Java C. Okay, and followed by the name of the class. And what's my name of the class? So A is my name of the class. Okay, A dot Java. Okay. So this, so you need to compile your program. So once you compile the program, what's going to happen? What's going to happen once you compile the program? Once you compile the program, you'll get a bytecode, and the bytecode is nothing but is dot class file. Once you compile a program, you'll get a bytecode, and your bytecode is nothing but your dot class file. And what's the name of your dot class file? The name of your dot class file is nothing but is your name of the class. So I'll get a dot class file called a dot class. So once if you compile successfully, I'll get a bytecode. Your bytecode is nothing but your dot class file, and the name of your bytecode is nothing but is your name of your class. That is a dot class. So once you get a dot class, you need to run the program. So in not run the program, you are going to use a tool called Java. In not run the program, you are going to use a tool called Java, and followed by the name of your dot class file. And just you should write A. Okay, I should not write a dot class, and just I should write A. Once I write Java A, so then I'll get the corresponding output. Then I'll get the corresponding output. So what output I'll get in this program? I'll get an output called hello. I'll get an output called hello. Okay. So these are you need to compile. So once you compile, you are going to get a dot class file. So once you get a dot class file, you need to run it. In not to run it, you are going to use a tool called Java. Okay. So once you run, I'll get the corresponding output. So I'll get the output as hello. Okay. This is the sequence. Now you can see that now I'll do a small modification to this program. Okay. Now this class called A, I'm going to place inside a package. PK1. Okay, you see that? I've done a small change to this program. What change I've done? I've done package PK1. Okay, is it right? I've used, and let me change my color. I've used a package called PK1. So now, how to compile? So let us assume that I'm in C directory. Let us assume that I'm in C directory. Okay. I'm in C directory. So you not run it. So this so you're going to run, right? So lastly, you not run, you're going to run like this. So once you run, you'll get a dot class file. Then this so you're going to run. Now what I've done, now I included a new statement called package PK1. Now how to compile this code? So in order to compile, the similar fashion I'm going to compile. That is the same statement, the same step I'll be following. And what step? This is the first step. Okay. The same step I'll be typing here. So once I type here in command prompt, so I'll get a dot class file. So what's the name of my dot class file? I'll get the same dot class file. That is, I'll get a dot class. You should know the difference between these two. Okay. So here what I've done, this entire block of code I have done without packages. This is without packages, and this is with package. What I'm going to discuss, it is with package. Is it right? Now, So once I get a dot class file, now I need to run it. So how to run it? In not run, I should pick a tool called Java and followed by the name of my class, that is A. But if you try to run like this, students, so in a command prompt, so right now I'm in which prompt? In C prompt. Okay, in C prompt, first I've executed Java C a.java. I get a dot class. So once I get a dot class, next I'm going to run the program, the similar function, that is Java A. But if you try to run this program, what's going to happen? This statement throws an error. This statement throws an error. Okay. You should not run like this. When you place a class inside a package, you see that I placed this class inside a package. Okay. So you not run this program, what we should do? The two important steps we need to follow. Step one. Okay. Since you place this class A in package, okay, in your system, okay, in your system in C directory. So right now I'm running the program in C directory, right? So in your C directory, you need to create a folder. In your C directory, you need to create a folder, and the name of the folder you need to give it as PK1. Okay. In your C directory, you need to create a folder called PK1. Why C directory? Because I'm trying to run my command from C directory, right? So therefore, inside my C directory, I need to create a folder called PK1. So once I compile, I'll get a dot class. Okay, so where this a dot class file will be present, this a dot class file will be present under my C directory. Okay, a dot class. Okay, a dot class will present under my C directory. Why? Because under C directory itself, I've executed the corresponding command, that is Java C a dot Java. Okay, so since I've executed this command, so this a dot class will be present under my C directory. Now, what we should do? This a dot class file. Okay, this a dot class file, you should take it. You should remove this. And this you need to place under this folder. So under this folder, you need to copy. This a dot class file. Copy this a dot class file. I hope you understood this. Right. So once you copy under the folder called package1 a dot class file, next what you should do under your C prompt, what you should do instead of writing Java A, what you should do. The most important thing, students, I'm under C prompt only. Okay, that's very, very important. Okay, what I should do, Java PK1 means I'm telling that is package1 dot A. That's very, very important. So these, so you have to compile. So I'm telling that this dot class file called A is present in a folder called PK1. That's what I should tell. So these are you need to run the program when you're trying to include packages in your program. Okay. The first step is what you should do. You need to under your C directory, you need to create a folder called PK1. So in this PK1, what you should do, you need to copy this dot class file, that is a dot class. So once you copy this a dot class file, what you should do under your C prompt, step 2, what you should do, you need to run using this Java command. How to run? First, you need to specify the name of the package. In other words, the name of the folder dot followed by the name of the class. So once you do that, then I'll get the output as hello. Yeah, I have done. Students, you have any questions you can ask. So these are you need to compile and run a Java class if you try to include packages in your program. Any questions, students? Any questions? No questions. That's well and good. Now, next thing. Now there is no limit on this package structure. Okay, there's no limit. Or is there no limit? So I can place this class A in package something like this. PK1.pk2.pk3. I can put something like this. Sorry, pk3. Okay. I can write a structure. We call this as multi-level package. Okay, multi-level structure. Okay. So we actually there's no limit on this. Actually, you can put it like this. It depends upon how you are going to write your program. So what it says that this class A belongs to a package called PK3. In other words, this class A will be present in the folder called PK3, and this PK3 is a subfolder of pk2, and pk2 is a subfolder of pk1. Okay, so how the directory structure looks like, it looks something like this, and let me draw here. So let us assume a C directory. So under C directory, I need to create a folder called, pk1, pk1. So under pk1, again, I need to create a subfolder called pk2, okay, pk2. Under pk2, again, I need to create a subfolder called pk3. Under this pk3, what I should do, I have to place my dot class file. And what's the name of my dot class file? It's nothing but is a dot class. So here, okay. So when I try to compile, so I'm trying to compile from my root directory, right? For my command, from my C prompt, I'm trying to compile. Once I compile, I'll get this a dot class. So this a dot class, where you should do, I should place inside this pk3. Okay, that's what it is. This directory structure is very, very important. So when you're trying to create any packages, something like this, okay, it is mandatory that in your system, you need to create a directory, something like this. It's mandatory. Okay. So under this directory, you need to place your dot class file. So once you place your dot class file, you need to run the program. So how to run the program? So now, in order to run this program, how to run? I should use a command called Java. Then I should write pk1 dot pk2 dot pk3 dot a. So this, so you need to run the program. Okay. What it says, this dot class file A is present in folder called pk3, and this pk3 is present in folder called pk2, and this pk2 is present in folder called pk1. Is it right, student? And that's what the directory structure says. You see that this pk3 is present inside this pk2, and this pk2 is present inside your pk1. Okay. And the most important thing, when trying to run this Java command, you should run from your C prompt. Okay. If you don't want to use this fully this name pk1.pk2.pk3, what you should do? Okay, you should directly jump to this folder. You need to traverse to this folder. So once you traverse this folder, then you can run it. But I'm not sure whether it will run or not. But you can follow this practice. What I've said, you can follow this practice. Okay. Yeah, I have finished with this. You have any questions, you can ask. I have finished with packages. You have any questions, you can ask. Any questions, students?
No, sir.
Yeah, fine. That's good. Let me clear my drawings. Yeah. Let me move back to my screen. So this is syntax. Okay. So we call this as multi-level package statement. Okay, the syntax, that's what it is. PK1, PK2, PK3. Actually, this syntax looks to be a little bit complicated. Actually, it's not complicated. It's quite simple. See, anything which you see, it's very important, students. In Java, anything in syntax, or in general form, anything which you place in square bracket means it is optional. Anything which you place in square bracket is something that is optional. What is optional? It is not mandatory. Optional means it's not mandatory. If you want to use, you can use it. If you want to omit, you can omit it. This is true with respect to Java syntax. Not only Java syntax, if you ever C# also any syntax, when you see syntax, anything which you see in square bracket, it means that it is optional. You see that? See, when you pick package, when you write a package statement, okay, following package, it's mandatory that you need to write at least one name. Okay, next you see that dot package they placed in square bracket. It means that the subsequent names are optional. It is not mandatory. Since it is optional, they're placed in square bracket. Okay, that's what they've done it. You can see that the package pk1, okay, pk1, okay, dot. See, this is mandate. Once you write package, the name of the package is mandatory. After this is optional. Since it's optional, they placed in square bracket. That is pk1. Next dot. This is also optional. Dot pk2. They've closed this, they've closed this, and they've closed this. This is closed. So that's why I can write a package something like this. When I write a package, I'll write package pk1 is mandatory. Followed by I can write one dot. That is pk1. I can write one dot. I can write it. The second thing I can omit. The second one I can omit. Why? Because it is in square bracket. Anything written in square bracket is optional. It is not mandatory. Or you want to include, I can include dot pk2. I can include. Okay, I can put semicolon. That's what it says. So we call this as multi-level package statement. We call this as multi-level package statement. Okay. Yeah. So they give me a small example. You see that with respect to this syntax, that is multi-level package statement, they have used a package name called java.awt.image. Okay. So with respect to this, you need to create a corresponding folder in your system, that is corresponding file directory. That is, first you should have Java. So inside your Java, you should have AWT. Inside your AWT, you need to have an image folder. So like this, a directory structure has to be created with respect to this package statement. Okay. Yeah. And that's what I've discussed. And that's all about packages. Okay. And you can see that this is a small program package. So you see that you can find this. So inside, what is the name of my package? Name of my package is mypack. Inside this package, how many classes I'm having? I'm having a class called balance. I'm having a class called account balance. I'm having a class called account balance, right? So how many classes I'm having? I'm having 2 classes. So my pack is having 2 classes, that is balance and account balance, right? Now how to compile this program? Yes, students, can you answer this question? How to compile and how to run this program? Yes, can you tell? This balance and account balance placed in package called mypack. And can you tell how to compile and how to run this program? Yes. How to compile and how to run this program? Yes, students, come on.
So Java C package name dot class.
Sorry, Java C? Java C?
Package mypack.
No. See, when I try to compile, yes, good one. So you tried it. So when I try to compile, okay, see how many classes I'm having? I'm having 2 classes. One is balance, one more is account balance. When you're trying to compile, okay, you need to specify the name of the class which contains main method. Now, which class is containing main method? Is it balance or account balance? So account balance is containing the main method. As you notice here, the account balance is containing the main method. Since account balance is containing the main method, you need to compile something like this. That is Java C followed by this account balance. Account balance. Account balance dot Java. Java. Is it right? See, when you're having multiple classes, I think I've said this before. When you're having multiple classes, okay, then which class name you need to mention here? You need to mention the class name which contains the main method. Okay, so this you need to compile. That is account balance dot Java. So once you compile, what's going to happen? Now you can answer this question. So once you compile, what I'll get? Let us assume I've compiled successfully. Once I compile successfully, what I'll get? Yes, students, come on, you can give it a try. So let us assume I've compiled this program, that is Java C account balance.java. So once I compile, what I'll get?
Account balance dot class.
Account balance.class. Very good. Anything else? Anything else, students? See, it's very important. See, I think I've said this, probably might have forgot this. So you see that inside my package, how many classes I'm having? 2 classes. One is balance, one more is account balance. So since I'm having two classes, two dot class files will be created. The first dot class file is the name it is balance. When you compile, with respect to each class, a dot class file will be created. So I'll get a file called balance.class, and I'll get one more dot class file called account balance. Okay. Account balance dot class. So once I compile successfully, what's going to happen? Okay, I'll get two dot class file. Why two dot class file? Because the package my pack, what's containing how many classes? Two classes. One class is balance, one class is account balance. So therefore, two dot class files will be created. So once dot class file has been created, next what I should do? I need to run the program. In not run the program, I need to use a tool called Java. And followed by the name of the class. Now, which class name I should pick? Either balance or account balance. Which class name I should pick? I need to pick the class. Very good. I need to pick the class name which contains main method. So account balance contains main method. So therefore, I need to pick the corresponding class name. So I should write it account. Account balance. I'm sorry. 1 second. As you see here, students, okay, these two classes are present in a package called MyPack. So what I should do, I should write MyPack. I should write MyPack. MyPack dot what I should write? Dot account balance. Dot account balance. As you know, students, so these are you need to compile and run the program. Okay, I hope you understood this. If you have any questions, you can ask. Okay, so these are you need to compile. In order to compile, you should use a tool called Java C. In order to run, you should use a tool called Java. So why I used here MyPack? Since these two classes, balance and account balance, I'm trying to place inside the package called MyPack. Therefore, written MyPack.account balance. And the most important thing, students, here, okay. So since here I'm trying to use a package called MyPack, what we should do in your system, you need to create a folder. In your system, you have to create a folder. The name of the folder must be MyPack. You have to create a folder called MyPack. So once you create a folder, okay, these two dot class file, what you should do, you need to place under this MyPack. These two dot class file, you need to copy and paste inside this MyPack folder. So once you paste in this MyPack folder, then what you can do, then you can run this command, that is Java MyPack.account balance. Yeah. Any questions, students? Any questions? You're welcome. If there are no questions, we shall move to the next topic. Okay, no questions. That's well and good. Yeah. So let us move to the next topic. That's what you can see here. They've used Java MyPack.account balance. So this you need to. Okay. So you cannot execute. It cannot be executed like this. The Java account balance, you can't execute it. This is wrong way. So this so you need to execute. So this account balance file is present in a folder called MyPack. Okay, that's very important. Okay. Now let us move to an important topic called access protection. This is very, very important. You can find questions on this access protection. Okay, this topic is very important. So within 1 minute, the session is going to get terminated. I request students to rejoin again. Okay, I'll be discussing this topic, access protection. This is very, very important topic. Okay, so in case the session gets terminated, you can use the same link to rejoin again. So meanwhile, just you can go to this block diagram. I'm going to explain everything with respect to this block diagram. Okay. So this table will discuss about class member access. This table discuss about class member access. You can see that here I'm having private, no modifier, protected, public. Okay. same class, same package subclass, same package non-subclass, different package subclass, different package non-subclass. So all this concept I'm going to discuss with respect to program. The program which I'm discussing is very, very important. This program, what I'm going to discuss is very, very